Okay, so some tips and tricks
Sweet.
for doing skin in
Yeah,
Substance
skin.
Painter.
So this
Okay.
is my skin head thing.
Yeah.
One of them. I think this is probably the best one so far, especially in female skin, because this was the most recent one that I
Okay.
did, and I think the most accurate one because I spent forever making her skin.
Yeah.
It's still not finished because I had this. I don't know why I had this. I wanted to do something, and then it came to this X-Men like thing.
Oh, okay. I
Uh,
see some nice fabric material on there as well. Is this in
it's looking a
4K?
little.
Are you viewing it in 4K now?
No, I think this is 2K. Yeah,
2K.
it's 2K. If I go to 4K, it'll probably crash.
Okay.
That's one thing.
That
I
looks
ordered a
cool.
new graphics card, so it should be here next week. So
Okay.
then I'll probably then I will be able to even paint in 8K, which is
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
It's the problem when painting or texturing, especially with Substance Painter or with texturing in general in PBR, is it relies on your VRAM.
Yeah.
And my graphics card only has 2 gigs of VRAM,
Oh,
so
for
it's really
yeah.
shitty. So, but I
See.
ordered a what was it? It's an AMD RX 580.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Uh,
I know those.
it's
Those
got
are
8
also
gig
pretty
of it.
good. Yeah, those are pretty damn good as well.
I'm and I ordered a Ryzen 7. So,
Woo!
I'm
Getting a nice
happy
upgrade.
of getting a great upgrade, so then I can actually paint in 8K and 4K and stuff. But it's just 2K.
Okay.
So, yeah, this was a hood. I don't, and you can clearly see the seam here because I just unwrapped in ZBrush.
Okay.
But that's not important. But I'm just gonna hide this real quick.
But that's the thing about clothing sometimes also because clothing like literally like it physically has seams on it where garments are
Yeah.
joined together. So sometimes you can get away with it. But yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes, but that's not. Okay, so let me actually hide this thing. Okay, she's very
Oh, she
bold.
looks really good though, eh? Like I'm looking at that you got some really micro detail on there as well.
Yeah,
Some
like I
pores.
I spend a lot of time on the. But wait, let me go to ZBrush
For
and
for the
actually
for the
put.
detailing, did you use XYZ alphas?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, those are like the best,
I
dude.
love XYZ.
Those are
They're
the freaking best.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to get the full face ones, that you get everything. But the thing is, they're for Mari. They're not really for ZBrush.
Yeah.
So but then they released a while back. They released the alphas.
Yeah.
So then you could just use the alphas.
I see.
And so this is what she looks like now. I learned how to use fiber mesh with the
Yeah.
move tool,
Yeah,
and I've
yeah.
never been happier. That's awesome.
Yeah, you got
So
much
I
better
did
control
this.
with it, with the move, yeah?
Yeah, it's really, really cool. But I'm still struggling with eyebrows. But it's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's okay. But
You
let
know, you
me.
know who I would recommend for checking out how to do eyebrows? His
Hmm?
name is Rafael Grassetti.
Oh, Raphael. Yeah, can't speak now.
Wait. Is it?
Raphael
Yeah,
said,
Rafael
yeah, I
Grassetti.
know of him.
Him,
Yeah.
him and Frank Zeng. Frank Zeng.
Oh, those guys. Oh,
That guy works for
they're
Naughty
so
Dog.
good.
They have like a
Yeah.
tutorial for eyebrows and stuff like that. Because, yeah, it can also be a bit tricky, but you can do it with fiber mesh. But okay, yeah, so we've seen all the
Let me just
micro
go to
detail now.
the
Well, how many
1.7
sub-devs?
polygon one. This six sub this.
Jeez,
So
yeah,
this
this
is
like micro detail, dude.
yeah, it's
Pores and
actually
stuff.
very small. I mean, just the head now, it's
Yeah,
1.7 million polygons, which is actually not that much.
yeah, not that much. And there's still like so much detail.
But the thing is, it is a small mesh. I mean, it's only the head, so it's a base mesh that I've just tweaked a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could kind of see
Hold
the
on,
mic.
I'm still waiting for the stream to load because I can see
Oh
it
shit.
clearer because it's a little bit blurry. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can
So you
see.
kind of see
And I
the
see like
mic,
I
the
see some
micro.
of your strokes also like the form of the actual pores of the flow of the pores are following the form as well. Like I'm looking at the neck.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't just look like very artificial. Like it's flowing, it's moving with the form. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
you see
cool
it.
thing about these alphas. I got them here under alpha. Here. So, it saved the project over there. Okay, interesting. But over here, you got them over everywhere. But they come within the folder. They
Oh,
have
that's
this
Batu from Ghost
alpha.
in the Shell, yeah? Sorry, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I'll show you now. That's what I'm. Oh, it's cool
looking
that you
at.
actually could, identify him and see
I know
him.
him by
At
the round, those like round glasses, whatever, by his
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah, yeah.
Do you
Well,
see
that's
the?
that's the jacket that I made.
Oh, it's for
It's
you.
for him. I'll show you
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about I don't know if you have the alphas, the texturing XYZ
XYZ.
alphas, but
Yeah.
they come with a little page that show you like where each pore is supposed to be in the face.
Yeah.
And that's really helpful for like with the flow
Mm-hmm.
of the pores. So like each section of the face has a certain type of pore,
Yeah.
but sometimes you can get away with combining them. That's what I did with the neck because they don't give you the neck; they only give you this area
The
of the
face.
face. So I actually went over a couple times with different alphas or different parts.
Yeah.
To kind of get it to look a little more heavier and a bit more accurate, especially for the neck.
Dude, and these small details make a huge difference, eh? Especially with
Definitely,
skin, like
definitely.
with subsurface scattering and capturing all
Yo,
those
and
details.
and
Yeah.
with everything. So okay, what I did now after this was I just exported not the lowest one,
Yeah.
but I think this one. It's oh no, maybe a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
I think the third subdivision level, the second one or the third one.
Yeah.
I can't remember. One of those as my low poly, and then I just exported the highest poly,
Mm-hmm.
and then I took that to substance, and then I just baked the high poly to the
Yeah,
low
to the
poly
low.
in a normal map, and it's still got most of these pores.
Yeah, it's
It's
amazing.
not
Like
as it's not as high quality as you see in ZBrush, but you can
it's
still
still
use it.
baked.
It's
Yeah,
still
exactly.
still good, and it's baked in a
Like
normal.
you're seeing
And
it
I
a
think I
lot there by
went,
a head, like where the lighting is hitting it at an angle
yeah,
directly, like
when the
right on
light
top.
hits it like from an angle, especially here. And
Yeah,
what I did
there.
a trick. It's kind of difficult to do, but if you also bake your cavity, um,
Yeah.
from your high poly, it doesn't always work. But
Mm-hmm.
if you invert it, let me try actually go to the head, and show you the skin material. It's not named, it's just called layer 27, layer
I see
29.
there.
And
I see there on the right. You've got multiple texture sets. See,
yeah, I always it's one mesh. It's
yeah,
a combined mesh. I basically just in ZBrush, I've got my different subtools, and then I
yeah,
just uh have everything visible that I want, and you just go ZBrush, I mean Z plugin, FBX export, and then just visible,
yeah.
and then it will export everything and combine it as one mesh.
Okay.
But it will keep the for every subtool, it will assign a material group for it.
Ah, okay.
So over
Okay.
here, basically,
Very
all
nice tip.
these like texture sets, right,
Yeah.
are individual subtools straight from ZBrush.
Whoa. Okay. That's awesome. I had no idea,
Yep.
dude. There
So
again,
that's
another
that's
tip.
really really good for concepting. Obviously not for your
Ah,
final mesh, but just for
yeah, yeah,
concepting and playing around and getting ideas. And
yeah.
even if you're just gonna do a render, if you're not gonna make a game mesh or
Yeah, then
anything, you
it's
don't need to
fine.
worry about going super low poly and
Yeah,
retopologizing. You could most of the time in most of my renders, it's just remesh.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Zero
And
mesh. Yeah.
or my lowest subtool, and then or lowest, what's it called?
The lower subdivision.
uh, Subdivision, yeah,
Yeah.
you can get away with it if you're just doing a still image. So,
Yeah.
so that's that. But I actually used some of on Substance Source. Texturing XYZ also has some skin stuff. I
Okay.
also did a bit of that on the skin, like where some of the pores started to blur out from the bake. I would then just go with those ones just over and just kind of
So,
fix it up.
so if you don't mind, like, i- can you show me like how you would start with the skin material, right? So you've got those awesome pores on there. How would you start applying that material and start texturing it?
Okay, so let me go back to the beginning
Because
of
I'm sure like
everything.
what
This
you've
one
been
is a
painting
bit,
quite a few layers on there, right?
it's a lot of layers.
Yeah.
This one is actually, because it's recent, it's a bit more organized, even though there's no names. Like it's not named. It's a bit better for the structure. The last one I did was just everywhere and took me forever to close them one by one. But
Mm-hmm.
it's basically I start with the skin face material. Magdalena de Bella has a really great in-depth tutorial. Um,
Magdalena de Bella.
de Bella, yeah, she's an
O-
amazing character artist. She worked on the Assassin's Creed games and
Okay.
the Warcraft movie and Splinter Cell and everything on Algorithmic's YouTube channel. I think it
Hmm.
was with GDC last year, I think, or this year. No, this
Sweet.
year.
I'll definitely
It's
check
on
her
there.
out. Yeah.
It's like quite a long video where she goes like in depth on her skin creation. It's not like really a tutorial; it's more of a breakdown, but you can get a lot of tips there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but basically, what I do is I start with a normal skin, the face skin material over here,
Does this come
and I just
default with Substance
this is
or?
default. This is
Okay.
default. I didn't use any besides the pores,
Yeah.
which are baked,
Yeah.
and half of them are from the substance source. The rest is all like standard. It's just layers.
Okay.
So it's the normal skin face material, smart material that's default.
Mm-hmm.
That's the base layer, and then I
Yeah.
just tweak the skin. I just made it a bit lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to color mode so you can kind of
Yeah.
see it a little bit better. I assume you know how to switch
Yeah.
between the flat
B
colors. No, C.
is C.
Yeah, C you would
Okay.
go to
Oh,
your
there
flat
we
colors.
go.
The first one
C,
is
sorry.
your
Yeah. There we go.
base color or your
Okay.
color, your albedo. Then
Yep.
it's metallic, roughness, normal,
Normal.
and high.
Okay.
No, I don't know what that is. I think this is roughness. But and then M is just back to normal. But I
Okay.
got this like flat, oh not flat, this lighter color, more skin tone, and then I just tweak the tiling of these patches and pores and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The AO I turned it red, and the SSS I actually made it a bit brownish.
Okay.
That's the base layer. Then folder one is kind of
Whoa,
just
yeah, you got
layers
quite a lot of
everywhere.
layers there.
It's
I mean, that all
like that
makes a
meme,
difference.
that meme of Buzz Lightyear and Woody. It's
Yeah.
like layers everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like what's giving the skin like such a
Yeah, that's the thing.
realistic aestheticity.
Skin is super complex because
Yeah.
if you think about it, and even if you go and search online, they'll tell you that the face has three. It's very important to know this, but
Yeah.
the face has three different color zones. You
Mm-hmm.
have red, blue, and yellow. So red is your blood that's circulating through the cells and through the veins and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow is fat. So where the fatty areas, like the forehead normally has a lot of yellow in it, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have blue. Blue is normally hair.
Yeah.
So in blue is more dominant in men, especially in the chin area because we have facial hair, we have a beard and mustache. So we normally have a lot of blue.
Mm-hmm.
So blue would normally be from the nose down, like in the chin area. Then red would normally be by your cheeks or like in the middle of your face, your nose, your cheeks, and
Yeah.
then yellow is up top on your forehead. But there's also little patches all around, like on the fatty areas,
Yes.
like the tips of your cheeks, where they're really fatty, that you also have yellow and everything. But they normally just tell you that. But the thing is, the skin is way more in depth than that.
Yeah, but that's
It's not
cool.
just red.
That's like a
The thing is,
base to work with,
yeah,
knowing those
that's a
different
base.
zones.
It's really good,
Yeah.
but they normally don't go further in depth than that. And it's the thing is very important that it's not just red, it's not just blue, it's not just yellow.
Mm-hmm.
It's different types of yellow, different types of red, especially.
Yeah.
Like it's red, it's pink, it's purple, it's indigo.
Yeah.
I think indigo is like a bluey purple.
So
Blue
if you
purple.
if you're painting skin, you must just be ready to be spending quite a lot of time on it and analyzing
Yeah.
it properly to get something believable.
Definitely, but Magdalena de Bella goes very in detail on
Oh, but
on
that's
on the different
awesome,
types
man.
of tones, like the
Yeah.
pink and the red. But let's go like from the base. This is like I think it's called mottling,
Okay.
with the T, mottling. I think
Okay.
it's where you just go with
Mottling.
red.
Yeah. Okay.
Mottling in traditional like painting,
Mm-hmm.
where you would go with red, just over the whole face,
Mm-hmm.
sort of like kind of you can see over here.
Yeah.
You can't really
Okay, there I can see a bit.
Like over here you can see a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would see it's like a very dark red, just kind of filling in, giving a bit more color to the face. Then it's this is kind of with the cavity. So this is that trick that I did. Is with the cavity map, I had this red color, well, there's this orangey color with roughness.
Yes.
Following the cavity of the pores that I baked from ZBrush.
Okay.
So it looks like this. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
It like highlights the
Yes.
lips and the ears and the pores, and the
That's
roughness
smart.
also is in there. So because normally the inside of the pores is a bit drier than the skin,
Yeah.
and certain parts are a bit wetter. So that's why it would give that you can sort of see the depth of the pores in certain lightings because the roughness is different than the normal skin roughness.
Okay.
So that's kind of
understand.
if you use the cavity map.
Wow, and
for
it
that,
makes
you
such a
basically-
difference,
you-
eh?
You use a cavity for it, and to
Yeah.
get a cavity, you take the curvature and you just invert it, and then you have your cavity,
So,
and that's how you do it.
okay, wait, so I'm trying to see, it's a mask, so you were painting,
Yeah, like I'll show you here. So this
Okay.
is just like an orange color with a bit of roughness, and in the mask, so I have a fill, which is my curvature,
oh, and there's your map over there, your
and
curvature
then
that's
I have
inverted.
my levels that inverted, and I tweaked it a bit to kind of
Aha.
bring it a bit better.
Smart.
And sort of like that.
That is
Then
smart.
after that, this is sort of a peachy color to kind of like resemble the initial base color to kind of blend the reds a bit more with the skin, so it doesn't stand out too much. After that, it was a pink, also another mottling layer, where I just went over with pink, this kind of like pinky color, to sort of give it a bit different color, a different type of tone.
Mm-hmm.
After that, this was the main red.
Yeah.
Like this is where your blood circulates through your face. So you see, it's
Okay.
mostly dominant in the
In the
cheeks
cheeks.
and in
Yeah.
the nose, and then in women have more red over their face because they don't really have a lot of hair on their face, so
Okay.
that's why it goes down like on the chin, and then also on the forehead a bit, and then especially by the eyes, and
Okay.
especially here, like on the eyelids.
Yeah.
I put a lot of red there
Okay.
to kind of resemble that. After that, it's the blues.
So
Um,
it's really
very-
interesting. You're not like just texturing randomly, like you're understanding where the different zones are of
Yeah, it's
where
very
you
important
should
to
put
skip.
different blues and reds. Yeah, that's what makes it
Yeah,
realistic.
but
That's smart.
the
Yeah,
most
I see.
important thing is experiment. Like paint, you don't have to follow the zones perfectly.
Okay.
You can kind of branch out a little bit here and there if it gives you an interesting effect, and just play around. Always experiment. That's the
Yeah.
best. The biggest thing is always experiment,
Okay.
especially when you're doing like creatures and stuff. Okay, so after that I did yellow. So there's a lot of yellow over here in her forehead, and then also
Yeah.
by the cheeks because there's a lot of fat, especially over here in this area, and then on the nose as well, a bit on the lips, and then pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
But it's not a complete yellow; it's kind of like an olive color,
Yeah.
like an olivey color. And after that was like a lighter bluish color.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like an off blue. I don't know what the color is. Kind of covering the whole face, just to blend it to make it a bit more blue, because the skin is kind of bluish
Yeah.
in certain areas. Then this is very important. Is like spots.
Yeah.
Spots definitely help break up the skin and add that asymmetry. That's very important if you want believable characters. So spots. All the characters have more spots, but they're very, very subtle. Like you can, well, now you can see them, but I mean, further on, you don't really see them anymore.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to give her a bit of freckles, so that's why I kind of went crazy with the spots.
Oh, and at the
This-
end of these layers, is it okay if you show me how does the render look in iRay also? When you send it over to iRay render.
Oh yeah, in substance. Yeah,
Substance,
we
yeah.
could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, so this one is this is just a normal layer with white.
Yeah.
But I kind of and a bit of red.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do here? Oh, it's red. It's not white. It's red.
It's very subtle, but I can see that, yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's by the cheeks. It's very subtle, yeah.
It's by the cheek. It's very subtle, but it's. I think it's the inverted. No, it's a screen. It's been screened with the blending mode. It's a normal layer, so I don't actually know what it. I probably made a mistake and used the normal layer instead of a full layer. After that, this is the white. Yeah. So it's kind of a very light skin tone. Again, just sort of blending everything back to the normal skin tone. So
Mm-hmm.
now altogether it kind of looks, oh, you know what? Why it's so yellow? It's because the environment. Another thing on skin is to have
Environments.
it look perfect
Yeah.
is you mustn't have colored like light in
Mm-hmm.
the environment to be white. So
Okay.
this
So something very
Studio
neutral.
3, I think. Studio 3 or Studio 2? Studio 2, yeah. Studio 2 is
Okay.
good for skin. So because
Okay.
it's neutral
It's
white
neutral.
light.
Yeah.
So here you can see what it looks like
So
so
the
far. Actually,
lighting can be quite deceiving, eh? So it's very important that you choose the
exactly. It's
correct
very
lighting.
important, especially when
Okay.
you're working with colors. It's important that
Yeah.
you rather work with a neutral white light because the light of the HDRI can affect your texturing
Okay.
very much. Like
Okay.
even with the clothes for that character that I was making,
Mm-hmm.
I was working with I think with the bus garage one. Because I liked the lighting. It looked cool in there. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end, it looked awesome. But when we got it in Unreal, it just didn't look right, and I
Yeah.
couldn't figure it out. And then I eventually figured out like, oh yeah, it's a colored light, so it makes it look
It
more
makes it.
darker and
Yeah.
more brown.
Okay. So that's
Uh,
really important.
Lighting is important.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
See
so
that.
this is what it looks like so far, and you can kind of see it. That little spots that I did over here.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason. I
And
can't
that
remember. It
red
kind
is
of
like
looks like
so subtle,
veins.
but you can see. Yeah.
It's
It's
very,
like
very
underlying
subtle, but
veins in the face. Yeah.
it looks like underlined veins. I don't know how I got that. It just
Yeah.
happened. But sometimes you get happy accidents like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that we have white, more white over everything. This is also more. What is this? This is another.
Oh, you
Exactly the
use the
same that I
curvature.
did with the curvature thing, except
Yeah.
now I used white.
Okay.
So just kind of to dim the red because I think the red it's a bit too dominant, especially around like the ears and the
Okay.
lips. So
Okay.
just to turn it down just
Lips.
very slightly.
Okay.
Then I did the lips.
Yeah.
Oh, I spent forever on these
Yeah.
lips.
See?
Because I actually have a couple layers for the lips.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to have different colors. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's peach, it's like pink with a bit of red,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Because I want it to be kind of like fantasy. Wait, wrong. So if you look, you can't see it. You're in Marmoset, you can see it.
Yeah.
We'll go there just now, but it's really really cool.
And you can see
You-
also the nice glossy, like it's got a little bit
Yeah,
of glossiness on the lips as well,
yeah.
highlighting
It's
those
got
details.
roughness variation in there to kind of bring it out. But I'll go to Marmoset just now, and then I'll show you what it looks like in there. It looks amazing. Like the lips is the best so
Okay.
far. Okay, I added this like dirt on her face. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it kept this or not.
Oh yeah, that's
I think
another awesome thing with substance. You can like paint in dirt and bruises and blood and all of that awesome stuff if you wanted to.
I almost
I think
think I
it's
did
super
not. I
cool.
didn't use
Yeah, oh,
these layers.
this is the one with the war paint on the face, right? Because there I see
Yeah,
blue coming
it's
out.
her.
Okay.
It's her. I just tweaked her basically. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying I don't think I used these top layers because this is still the old stuff
Yeah.
from the face paint. Um,
Do you still have the war paint layer included
I
here?
think I think I kept this
Because I
one.
was gonna ask, like, what's your tips for painting war paint on a
Oh, I
character?
got some really cool, better looking tips or better tips now for creating even better war tips. I actually wanted to tell you, I
Yeah.
wanted to show you that with this character.
Oh, but thanks, dude.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
know if
covered awesome stuff here. all the different
I
layers for
know
the skin.
problem. Like I'm always stoked when I get to kind of share like
Yeah,
my tips and techniques.
yeah,
It's really cool.
yeah. No, it's awesome. I
Mm.
appreciate that, man. And this should go on YouTube, dude. It's too good. Like you're covering
Oh,
the
okay.
whole process for layering all the
Like,
different
no
skin
worries, man.
layers,
Like,
man. It's
I'm
good.
glad that I'm finally getting to help someone. Like
Yeah,
that moment. Like, I was at my friend's house and we were like playing Black Ops 2,
yeah.
and you requested to join the substance group, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
okay, let me accept.
yeah,
And you wrote that comment, and I
yeah.
was like, wait a minute, I know this. And then I just quickly typed you know how to do it, and
Yeah,
it felt so good, like I got to help someone,
yeah. It's
but not
always
just
good.
anyone. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you're kind of one of my role models,
Ah,
so
come on, dude.
it was really cool. I mean, like, I
Thanks,
look up
man.
to anyone that's like, I mean, South African
Yeah.
3D artist, and I mean, your stuff is
You
amazing.
don't find
So,
lots of them. I can
so
only like count a handful on my hand. Well,
me
you,
too. Like,
Josh, Furio Tedeschi, Riyad Kasim, Nico. Well, he's not really 3D, he's 2D. But yeah, then that's about it. Yeah, I
yeah.
can't think of
Well,
anyone else, dude.
thanks for having me on your list. Like,
Yeah,
I know of there's Furio,
I
there's
think so. I
Riyadh,
think I think
uh,
Furio is like the out of like everyone. Okay, I don't know that many, but like Furio,
like,
I talked to him also on Skype. Awesome guy. He's really humble.
oh,
Amazing,
that's
amazing guy. But yeah, I think
awesome.
like he's probably my biggest inspiration, like
Yeah,
locally for
same.
doing like hard surface and robots,
Yeah,
and he's
definitely. Oh, he's
insane.
amazing.
Yeah.
I use I'll show you Z. Let me quickly show you ZBrush again.
Okay. But
Have a look
thanks for
at
those
my
tips, dude.
UI.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Have a look at my
Yeah,
UI.
the
This
buttons
is
are green.
Furio's UI, except mine is
Oh.
green.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
literally his UI because
Yeah.
he shared his thing.
Yeah.
I've been using his UI since I started, or since he released it in 2015.
Yeah.
So, but I just okay, I've personalized it a bit more over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And especially now, I changed from blue to green because I really like green.
Yeah. Stands
So,
out,
but
looks
it's still,
nice.
it's still exactly the same. You still have some of the buttons up top. You still have the brushes at the
Yep.
bottom here and everything.
Mine's
So
sort
it's
of
still,
kind of similar, but yeah, nah, they're not exactly the same. But yeah, I can see you got all those shortcuts there, really come in handy.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
really,
awesome,
really,
man.
really, really cool.
So
Yeah,
Furio lives on in in your ZBrush.
yeah, he lives on the zero.
Okay,
But
so the
I know
character, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Furio, there's Rihard, there's
Yeah.
Brett Sinclair,
Oh,
which is
Brett
also
Sinclair,
awesome.
yes. How the hell could I forget him? He's like
Um,
super good with humans, dude. That
yeah,
guy's
he's amazing.
amazing. Yeah, he's really, really
Who
good with
else?
doing
There's
humans.
another guy.
Oh,
He works for Epic Games.
what is this guy's name?
Jonathan something. He's an
The
Asian dude,
Asian
but he's
guy. Oh
from
yeah,
Joburg. He's from
Jonathan.
Joburg.
I know who you're talking
Jonathan,
about.
he's got
I
an
know
Asian
exactly.
surname. Yeah, but he works for Epic Games, also another awesome
And
guy.
there's one
I
more
spoke
guy.
to him on Facebook for a bit
Yeah.
on with to do with my character and everything, but it was really cool. But like this, it's such a small like handful, so it's
Yeah.
so awesome to meet like new people and like
Ah,
especially
shit,
now,
man.
I get this awesome chance to talk
Yeah.
to you and to like
Cool,
share my
man.
workflow with you and everything. So
That's why I say we
I'm
should share this with like everyone, dude, because this is good.
yeah,
It's all substance related, and it's covering like the process for painting skin and showing the layers, like a methodical
yeah, like
process, which is
exactly.
good.
Yeah,
It's very good.
it's really cool. I'm really glad that I'm actually able now to
Yeah.
share my process
Yeah.
with people. So it's really really cool because like it's been a really long journey for me in skin
Yeah.
because I strive. I've always wanted to create photoreal characters, so I always strive with skin. I've been
Mm-hmm.
working with substance and skin for like 3 years now.
Holy
So
cow.
it's a
Yeah.
long process, and I'm self-taught, so like
Yeah.
I didn't have graphic design or anything. I sort of just learn on my own, and then here and there, YouTube doesn't have everything, so you
Mm-hmm.
kind of got to experiment and learn yourself, and like
Yeah.
literally
That's when
stare
you
at
actually start
photographs
learning.
for
Yeah.
when you stare at photographs for hours just to see the color differences in the skin.
Yeah. But dude,
But yeah,
that
but
that's when
thanks
you
though.
start learning, eh? Like you can watch a tutorial, but when okay, you watch a tutorial, you learn the techniques, but it's when you start playing around with the techniques and experimenting, that's when
Yeah,
you
and
really
and
start
you
learning, dude.
remember it. You remember
Yeah,
it better when you discover it because you discovered it, so you know
yeah,
it. Whereas if you watch a tutorial, you'll probably forget it and you have to go watch it
yeah. Watch
again.
it again.
But like
Yeah.
if you learned it yourself, like that's why if you do it by trial and error, it's actually better at the end. Once you once you achieve that result that you wanted, then when you go and like watch a tutorial on someone and then you get there because you have that extra, sort of satisfaction that
Mm-hmm.
you got there. It's very motivational as well. And I
Yeah.
think it's very good for an artist
Yeah.
because in the industry and with art, you can get very discouraged very fast and you can get artist block,
Yeah.
which sucks. So, motivation is everything.
Yeah.
And
Everything, dude.
yeah, that is
Yeah, I
definitely.
know a lot of people like well, I don't want to obviously give out names, but they've completely lost their drive. They'll message me telling me they're not feeling that great, and I understand that that happens to a lot of people. You like hit a wall, kind of like that
Mm.
creative wall. But I feel like okay, maybe it's easier said than done, but damn, sometimes you just have to try and keep pushing, like push through that, keep practicing. Or maybe just take
Exactly,
a
yeah.
break. Maybe sometimes you just need a break as well. Like go
Mm.
outside and walk in the park. Even just take a break from art in general. Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah,
all
but
suffer
like
from
even
that, dude. Creative
yeah,
block.
even Furio said, like after a while, you probably start slacking off, especially if you have artist block. Like Furio mentioned on his ZBrush Summit talk. I can't remember when, but he mentioned that just get up,
Mm-hmm.
just switch the PC on and just open ZBrush.
Yeah.
Like guaranteed within the next couple seconds, like after the first stroke, you'll be hooked and you'll get new ideas and then you'll start working on something. So just
Yep.
force yourself to do it. And then obviously, take a break. It's very important.
Yeah,
I know in
break.
music and in art
Yeah.
is take a break.
Mm-hmm.
And also a lot of people, especially the pros, say when you're working on a piece, right?
Yeah.
Like so now you're working on armor. Work a little bit here, like on the torso, and then go to the shoulder, and then
Mm-hmm.
work there, and then like keep hopping from place to place, keep moving, because that way your ideas will flow. Because if you stick to
Yeah.
one piece, you're sticking to the torso like for like 2 hours now, years for the rest of the body. So if
Mm-hmm.
you keep moving from piece to piece, your brain will keep on going with ideas
Yeah.
for the rest. Like, oh, I could do this. This works here. This works there, and it keeps you motivated
Yeah.
because I was watching Noman DVD. Who was it? Shit, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the big guy? I can't remember, but he was talking about this, saying that very important, keep working on different parts. I'm just trying to remember who it was. I can't remember.
And another thing
But
I've also heard from some other people is even when you're working on a piece, like take a break from it completely and then come back to it the next day and you'll notice
yeah,
like certain errors pop out to you that you didn't even notice while you were working on
yeah,
it.
I wanted to say that just now,
Yeah,
that you need to come, even just take a 5-minute break, grab a cup of coffee,
yeah,
go
exactly.
to the park, go get some pizza, go watch a movie or
Yeah,
something. Because when you get back, you'll come back with a fresh perspective,
yep,
and then you'll be able to see where your errors are. Because I'm sure it's with a lot of people like this, but like for me especially, when I create, whether it be music or 3D, when you create, you get a kind of a God complex because you're creating this, and you get
yeah,
so stoked that oh, you created this and it looks dope that you
yeah,
overlook the shitty areas. But if you
yeah,
go, well,
it's
it's with
true.
me. I don't know if it's with.
Nah,
I'm
nah,
sure
that's
it's with
true,
some other
dude.
people
It's
too, but
true.
like you get so happy and so stoked, like oh, I created like especially with the skin, it's like it's so cool.
Hmm.
I just I got this far now, and I've never gotten this far before with skin, and it looks so good. And then you overlook the shitty parts,
Yeah,
the bad area. So then it's always good to take a break, grab a coffee or something,
and then
maybe an
come
hour,
back to
maybe a
it.
day, maybe even a week.
Yeah,
Come back with a new set of eyes, and
yep,
then you'll be able to see, wait, okay, what was I thinking? This looks
yeah,
like shit.
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
And
those
then you
breaks
can
are very beneficial,
this is
dude.
very, very beneficial to
Yeah.
everything, definitely, which
No,
is,
that's.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the other 3D guy's name that I was trying to think of just now. This is his name.
Hmm?
It's Jaco Herbst. Um, hold on, let me send you to his page. Just check the Skype chat there. Let me just Jaco Herbst. He's also another local guy. So, yeah, like I said, there's a handful that I can think of.
Mm.
And yeah, here's another one.
Well, I don't know if you
Okay,
saw
there
the
we go. Yeah, that's in the
notification,
chat.
but my cousin's name is
Yeah.
Leroy Herbst.
Oh, so maybe. Whoa, that's
Maybe.
weird, dude.
I don't know.
Jaco Herbst, Leroy Herbst. What? Maybe he's communicating with us. Brain signals.
Maybe.
He knows that I sent the
Maybe.
name
It's like
Jaco to you.
that was really weird because like I just clicked on it and it like my message popped up and because it was his birthday, I think today or yesterday.
Yeah.
Because it's my cousin on my dad's side, and their family's name is Herbst. So it's
I see.
maybe it's this maybe family or something. I don't
Uh,
know.
but yeah, there you go, dude. That's another guy that you
Oh, I
can
like
check out.
this. This like
Yeah, he's pretty
cowboy.
cool. He's pretty cool. You must check out
This
some of the
is
work on his
it.
page. Yeah,
I'm
and
definitely gonna check
he
this
also
out.
uses Substance Painter, so yeah, it's nice. It's
Awesome.
nice to see more local guys doing this as well. Like I
Yeah,
said, I can only think of a handful that's doing
yeah,
like 3D work and
yeah.
interacts in all these groups and all of that. But yeah, okay, so
Mm,
some awesome tips with the face. I was gonna ask if you had to
sure.
approach war paint, right? Like you're doing a Senua,
Oh,
Hellblade
yeah.
Senua
Uh,
Sacrifice tribute. How would you paint war
as we
paint?
were talking, I was going through the layers.
Yeah,
Turns out I don't have it anymore, so I can create it from scratch, and it's so I can actually show you the process.
yeah,
So the only layers that we didn't cover was this like extra red, kind of like a blush.
yeah, like blush, yeah.
Um, come on, like blush,
Mm-hmm.
and then just the extra blush. I think it's three different blushes, different colors, and
Yeah.
then just the extra lip color.
Mm-hmm.
And then these like little like freckles and
Freckles in there.
specks and kind of like dots and things. So
Okay.
at the end it looks like this.
Yep. And you said you were gonna show me this in Marmoset,
Oh wait,
right?
it's not finished yet.
Okay.
There's
You.
another layer of shitload of layers. It's basically it's just a bunch of whites and a bit more reds and then these like extra freckles and lips.
And I saw
So
there
this
was
is
some
what the
shading around the
end
eyes
looks
as
of.
well. You
Oh
put some
yeah, and
darker
then
shading there.
over here,
Or
it's
like some
kind of
eyeshadow.
some eyeshadow, and then a
Okay.
bit more fleshy color over
Yeah.
here by the eyelid, and then of
Okay.
course then the eyes. The eyes are from Substance Source,
Okay.
and I think I tweaked them. I think I combined them with two different eyes to make them like that. I can't remember, but okay. Let's
Okay.
quickly have a quick look in Marmoset, and then we can make the war
War.
paint.
The wonderful war paint. I don't know what it is.
Uh,
This war paint looks so awesome. Like
I
these 3D
know.
characters, dude. Like when I saw that Hellblade. Like, have you?
Oh,
I don't
I
know.
still want to
Do you
play
have
it.
the video game? You don't have it.
No, I want to get it
Oh, because
still.
it's got like a photo mode, and you can
Yeah.
like zoom in on the face. Okay, yeah, there we go.
So this is her in with lighting and subsurface
I
scattering and everything. Like if you
see.
look at the lips,
And I
you
can
can
see by the
see
ears as well. Got some
the
subsurface seeping
lips,
through.
the lips, the way it's like painted, those little streaks and like
Yeah,
different colors. It really like makes it
makes a
pop.
difference. Yeah, definitely. You
It's
can
really
see
cool.
that. Ah, nice,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, so that's that. Do
And
I have anything else in
was this
more?
the best lighting condition that you selected for your character, or did you try other ones as well?
I think it was just this one. Do I still have those renders? Yeah, I do. They're still here on my desktop where they
Mm-hmm.
always are.
There we
So
go.
this one,
Yeah.
this, this, before I did the
Whoa.
eyes.
Now she's like a zombie.
But yeah, so I was
Oh yeah, cool,
experimenting,
man.
and I think this one was the final one. It's like very bright and
Yeah,
kind of
and it's also
yeah.
highlighting
So
some
yeah,
more
the
areas there on the skin. Yeah,
yeah.
but cool, man. In Marmoset, can you drag in? Because I haven't played around too much with Marmoset. Like,
Hmm?
can you drag a light source, like a light source that you can just move around freely, like a light on the left, if you
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to?
you can.
Like, let's say you wanted
There's
to set up your own type of
yeah.
lighting without using the HDRI.
Let me quickly show you. I'm not gonna save. I'm just gonna delete these lights. It took me a while to figure this out, and this helps a lot. It's okay. Of course, you have your HDRI, and it kind of drives the lighting from the HDRI, but you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when you click on the HDRI, you get a light source,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is shit. Like honestly, like if you change the HDRI, you will lose that light.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, it's
this looks
gone.
sick. Holy shit, this looks awesome.
It's
Okay, I'm gonna
crazy,
make a
yeah.
render of this later because this looks awesome now. This highlights the skin even better.
Yeah.
Okay, the see happy accidents are always awesome. Okay, but I mean like you lose your I'm gonna keep it at this glacier because this looks awesome.
Yeah.
If you click, it's cool, you can move it around and you can kind of set the child brightness and you can go here and tweak it, but it's shit because as soon as you change your lighting setup, you'll lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually add a light by itself. I think it's over here, but you can there's a shortcut for it as well. I think it was L, Control L. I think it was Control L.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Control L. That's why I actually already have lights in the scene.
Let's see.
That's why it's looking kind of cool.
Okay.
I can actually delete all of the lights. So yeah, I got this light. Where is it? Oh, here it's at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can move it around freely.
Okay. No, that's good because I'll be honest, I personally prefer like setting up my own lighting just so I can choose which area should be highlighted with the lighting. See, like you can make
Yeah,
dramatic stuff like that. Like if there was a
yeah.
top
So
light, it would highlight the form and all of that.
yeah, so I'm just turning like the brightness down so there's no light from the HDRI, and then you
Yeah.
can like really go with
And you
the
can
light.
really see that subsurface. Like
Yeah, now
now
you
you
can
can
really
really
see it.
see it. You see that red seeping through. But yeah, like
Yeah.
this I think it's cool like to play around with the light source
Mm.
like that to light it as well.
But it's actually very powerful because within this, you don't just need this. This is an omni light, so it's just like shining from the one side, but you can change it so it's directional, and
Ah,
then you just
whoa, that looks cool.
rotate and then you can kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of difficult to use these like this gizmo.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a little weird, but I mean, eh, you get
No,
the
but
hang of it
yeah, okay,
after
but
a
that's
while.
cool. So you can set up your own lighting in there.
And you can change
Wanted.
like the width and the
Yeah.
length and the angle and the brightness and the color and like
Mm-hmm.
you got spotlight, omni light, all of that sweet stuff. So you could
Nice.
really play around with the lighting. Let me
And it's
see
awesome
if I
that
can.
it's real time, eh? Like you don't know,
Yeah,
you're
that's
not waiting for anything to render
the
yet. Just straight real
best.
time.
Let
Play
me
around with it, yeah.
go back to not save it, and then I'll just switch to the glacier one, and then I'll turn off the extra.
Yeah, you like the glacier. Yeah, it's got like a
It's
blue
really
hue tone to it.
it, it makes the skin pop, and it
Yeah,
just
it
looks way
does.
more realistic. The eyes are kind of meh now.
That's
I
another
need to
thing.
redo the
I
eyes.
was gonna mention that just now.
Oh,
Like
eyes are so hard.
the eyes, I was gonna say the eyes I think need a little bit of work because
They
like
do. Eyes are
it's
so fucking
it
hard.
seems like it's a bit too white, like the actual eyes themselves. Like, cause I
Yeah, they
personally
are.
think
They're a
eyes can
little.
also make or break characters. Eh? If the eyes look very
Eyes are
artificial,
eyes are more important than skin. It's
yeah,
if your eyes are too skew,
yeah.
I think eyes are a little skew. I don't know.
But the
But if your
skin's
eyes are
looking
too
really cool.
skew, then
Yeah,
thanks. Well, the eyes are
yeah,
too skew, then it doesn't look good.
yeah.
If it's the eyes look dead, then your character looks dead. If the
Exactly.
eyes look too young and you have an old character, then it looks shitty.
Yeah,
Eyes are so difficult.
yeah.
Uh, I need to go buy some eyes at
It
Texturing
sounds
XYZ. It's just
so
like
dark. I need to go buy
I need to
eyes.
buy some eyes. Oh.
But yeah, I was gonna
But let me.
say, just if you can, whoa, like look at that lighting, dude. It's like
So
so dramatic.
this is my lighting without the HDRI. Like with the HDRI,
Okay.
without it, this is how I placed my lights to give that super subsurface ears,
Yeah.
and then just a little bit of a
Can you reduce the amount
but
of subsurface on there? Because it's like
yeah,
really
you can.
intense. Yeah.
It is, but like when you add extra lighting
Yeah,
in the
then it
background,
works.
HDRI, and it blends in, but without it, you have full control here at your shader in
Oh,
your skin
subsurface
material.
scatter.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the subsurface scatter
Like, dude,
shader.
that
Hmm?
lighting looks so dramatic. Like, I think it looks really, really cool.
Thanks.
It's
Well,
like,
you can go kind of you could like tweak how
and you can,
uh
you can adjust
and
that red. Like, if it's too red,
you
you
could
can make it a
make
little
it
bit.
darker. You could
Okay.
even go crazy.
Wow, blue. Holy cow. Okay, that
Wee.
is awesome. That is freaking cool.
It'd be like
But you see, like,
she's
how
from Mars.
do you see how important like lighting is, dude? Like
It's
texturing is very important, but lighting is just as
it's
important.
like
Like they work hand
everything
in
is
hand.
important.
Yeah,
Like
true.
your mesh, your textures, your
Yeah,
lighting, your
yeah,
everything is so important. That's the thing is 3D is really hard.
yeah. It
Like
is.
honestly, especially characters. I love traditional hard surface modeling,
Mm-hmm.
but for fuck's sakes, organic stuff is so hard. It's
Yeah,
like the hardest thing ever. Like music is hard, everything is
yeah.
hard, but 3D organic stuff, especially humans,
Humans,
it's the
they're
hardest thing
notoriously difficult, dude.
ever.
Yeah,
Like seriously, like out of everything, yeah, I go and choose the most difficult thing to be, right? Now I want to be a character artist and I want to make digital
yeah.
humans.
But I mean, it's good. They're like it's gonna keep you on your toes.
It's good.
It's
It's
gonna
I love
push you
it.
to
I
get better.
really
Yeah, it's
enjoy it.
awesome.
So that's what I want to be, what I want to do.
And you're gonna
And
do it. You're doing it, dude. You're doing it right now.
so
You're already doing it, man. Okay, but this is
I
cool.
try.
If I was lighting, like honestly, if I had the character, I'd go for more dramatic lighting. I don't know, it
Yeah, like
just
I
feels
still
like
suck with lighting, so like I'll send
okay.
you the Marmoset file. Go nuts.
Okay. Like I'd play more with something more dramatic just to capture more of the form. Like,
Yeah, obvious. Yeah,
I
of course,
think
of
that
course.
darker lighting looked a bit better, but this one looks cool as well because you see more of the texture on it. Like when it's dark, like you still need to position lights a bit better to see
Yeah,
more of the texture.
yeah, for the front as
Yeah.
well.
But yeah, awesome, dude. So many
Oh,
cool
let's
tips. I
see
was gonna
what else.
say one more thing because since your mama said it's linked to your substance, if you
Hmm.
can you just show me like how would you paint, do the war paint on your
Yeah,
character?
I wanted to. Wait, let me go back to my.
And I'm gonna share this, right? You don't mind? It's cool.
That's fine.
Okay,
That's
whoever's
cool.
listening to this, you heard it. Joshua said it's cool.
Yeah, let me just change back to the glacier because the glacier is awesome.
Yeah.
And then we let me close ZBrush because I'm getting lag.
Okay.
Okay, ZBrush, goodbye for
Have you
now.
ever tried rigging faces of characters and all of that?
I'm actually getting to that. Like,
Okay.
I've been reading up and trying blend shapes
Mm-hmm.
recently, and it's actually amazing.
Yeah.
It's not that complex. It's like basically for blend shapes, you would sculpt the different forms. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
you want the mouth to be open, you would sculpt a different sculpt,
Yep.
with the mouth open. Like normally, like in a layer in ZBrush.
Mm-hmm.
If you want the cheeks to, puff up, like if you're holding in air in your mouth, you
Mm.
would sculpt it like that.
Yeah.
And then you just combine everything in morph targets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get it. And it kind of like switches between the different meshes.
Yep.
And that's how you get your blend shapes and morph targets and
And
stuff.
those really make a difference, eh? Like you'll get the wrinkles
Yo,
that appear and all of that.
they do.
Looks
It's
really
amazing.
nice.
And I was watching a stream a while ago on Unreal Engine on how they showed how to use Blender with Unreal, but for characters, and they showed how morph targets and blend spaces actually work, how to make them
Mm-hmm.
and how to do normal blending. So say for instance you're doing like your character is frowning,
Mm-hmm.
then there are, of course, if or is angry, you normally have those like wrinkles in your forehead when you like get angry or when you tense up.
Mm-hmm.
So they showed how in Unreal Engine you could, depending when the character was doing that specific facial expression, that
Yeah.
it would start blending in the normal maps so that it would do the wrinkles. And then
Mm-hmm.
you can blend them in and blend them out. It was really cool, and they showed exactly how to set it up and everything. So I'm really want to get in there and into that and do more with facial rigging and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Give it a try, man. I think it would be
Cool.
awesome. I mean, since you're doing characters and all of that, it's like right in line with what you're doing.
That's my next thing that I want to do.
Yeah.
Uh, with that. Maybe even for this chick, because she's got
There
a
we
mouth.
go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
So
There's your
I don't
project.
need to go and sculpt a new one with a mouth, because you got to make the mouth and you
Yeah.
got to hollow it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably try with this one. Okay, so let's get to the face paint. So I'm just gonna make a new folder and call this face paint. Boom.
Okay.
And make a base layer. Well, just base. Okay, which color do you think?
Blue.
should,
Let's
this
go with the blue.
blue?
Or
Let's go with this
anything.
Senua. That
Okay.
Senua.
Yeah.
blue.
Hellblade Senua. Blue.
I think it was about this color.
Yeah, like a royalish blue. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need metallic. We don't need emissive. We don't need transmissive. We don't need normal.
When you were baking the maps here, did you bake thickness?
No.
You didn't bake a thickness map. Oh,
No,
okay.
I just baked the normal and the curvature. That's all I baked from the high poly. The rest, the thickness, the position, the world space normal, those were baked from the low poly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I should actually try baking the thickness, because I know thickness and ambient occlusion takes the longest
yeah.
to bake. I should actually try. I don't know if it will work. I know if you want another tip,
Yeah.
even in Marmoset, even I don't know if I did it here. Did I do it here? Okay, no, I didn't do it here. But
Mm-hmm.
for your translucency, like if you want an opacity map for translucency for subsurface scattering,
Yeah.
you can actually export your thickness, and then you just invert it in Photoshop, and then
Okay.
that will become your opacity map for your translucency map for your subsurface scattering.
Okay. Okay.
So we can even try it. I don't know. I don't think it will matter now because I've already set it up pretty
Yeah, you already
well.
got everything set up.
Yes,
So
and
you just
stuff.
invert
But when it
that map.
doesn't work, you just invert. So inverting maps actually kind of helps, because like inverting curvature will give you cavity.
Mm-hmm.
Inverting thickness will give you your translucency map.
Okay.
So
Nice,
those are
dude. Nice tips.
really
Yeah.
really cool. Okay,
Okay.
so over here we can kind of move the shelf out of the way, because I'm not going to use any of that. So I'm gonna make it quite rough, maybe like that, and we'll add a very little bit of height on top of it. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna make my mask.
So now the
Let's go.
brush that you use is important,
Okay.
right?
Yes, brush, dirt brush, always dirt brush.
Okay, because it's
Oh,
got
that
a
was
nice
another thing.
texture to it. Yeah.
All of the skin, like all of this, the colors, it's mostly done with dirt brush.
Okay, so
Because
you're
dirt brush
painting
is
on mainly
really
with
good.
dirt. Okay.
I'm doing mainly with dirt. The spots was done with the spots brush, and then I think some of the freckles and stuff was probably spot spray and paint spray.
Okay.
Like if you want those like fine like dots,
Yeah.
these two. This one spot spray gives you a bit more bigger and more separated. Like the spacing is bigger between the spots, and paint spray is a bit more closer together. Like you can see the difference between them in the pop-ups.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really good for depending on what you want. But dirt brush is good for anything and everything. Okay, so we can take this out of the way and then go full screen.
And now you're just painting your
Uh,
war paint.
So I'm gonna put symmetry on for now, and then we'll take it off. No. for a
Okay,
more
wait, I've
asymmetric.
never used symmetry in Substance Painter. Because I'm still new. So there it's at the top,
Oh, okay,
symmetry.
yeah, it's at
Okay.
the top here. You've got this little icon here with the two like arcs and the line in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
That activates symmetry, and then you have the different size, like your X,
Okay.
your Y, and your Z, and then you have the height, the symmetry plane, which I'm actually gonna.
Do right now.
Why is it not working? Oh, there we are. It was lagging. Okay,
Okay.
so you can kind of see there's a little bit of height,
Yeah.
very little, and the cool thing is the dirt brush kind of gives it that sort of spacing in between little gaps.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of helps because that's how paint also works in real life. It won't
Yeah.
be perfectly, especially with skin, with pores. It will
Yeah.
kind of shine through every now and then, here and there. So that's kind of good. So I have no idea how I'm gonna paint this. I'm just kind of painting to give it that warlike thing. I kind of can't remember what Senna one looked like. Let me try. I don't think she had that.
Well, it doesn't matter, eh? It's just the technique. You can
Okay,
have
but just
fun, can paint anything. I see.
uh,
So the brush you use is really, really important. Is there is there a brush in the shelf? Okay, well, I do have substance here, but I'm watching you. Is there a brush that has like an actual paintbrush effect applied to it? Something like
yeah.
really like rough, like, but it kind of looks like a paintbrush. Do they have that?
I think they should have it. There's the Sharpies. That kind of looks like a Sharpie, like a
Yeah.
Koki.
Oh,
Then they've got.
I wonder if you can import like your own custom brushes from Photoshop in here or something. Like if I
I
ever
think
custom,
you
yeah.
I think you can. I think you can make your own with alphas and like settings and things,
Okay.
and then you could probably save them. I don't know how. I think there was a stream once.
Yeah.
Whoa, what happened now? Oh, I went to the sub alphas.
Subshelf.
Okay, okay, that was random. Okay, but let's go back to this.
Okay,
So
and
yeah,
you
I
just
think you
paint them.
can make your own ones.
I see.
So I'm just gonna let me make the brush a little bigger. And this also painting skin, especially having a pressure sensitive pen
Yeah,
tablet
really
is
important.
amazing
Yep.
and also very, very important. So yeah, I have a Wacom Intuos Pro Medium.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what do you
Yeah,
have?
I'm using the Wacom Intuos. Yeah, Pro Medium. I bought mine like
Awesome.
in 2010, and I'm still using
Oh,
it.
sure. I
Yeah, no,
bought
they're good.
mine. When did I get mine? Last year.
Nice.
I
That's
was
awesome tablet.
Oh, yeah, the beginning of last year.
Yeah.
I was doing 3D for about a year just with
Uh-huh.
a mouse. Like I was using ZBrush
Yeah.
with a mouse for a year.
If you're a
And then
traditional modeler, like if you're using 3D Studio Max, you
yeah, then a
just
mouse
a
is
mouse is
like,
good to go.
it's fine, but like when you
Yeah.
use ZBrush for
Nah,
a year with just a mouse,
no
and
ways,
I'm
dude.
talking about characters and organic stuff for a year with a mouse, it's like your
Ah,
mouse skills get
dude,
so
that's like
much
trying to
better.
brush your teeth with like a toilet plunger
With
or something.
but yeah, like at first I wanted to
Yeah.
get one of those like
That looks cool now.
Wacom tablets for 2D because
Yeah.
they were cheaper. They
Mm-hmm.
were like 1,000, 2,000, and then I thought, you know what? Fuck that. Let me actually save up money and buy the thing that's like 9 grand.
Yeah.
And
You're
I
investing in your
haven't
future,
been
dude.
happier.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's an
I
investment.
thought about getting maybe saving up for a Cintiq, but then I thought no, I'm happy enough with
Yeah.
my with this one. I can do everything I want,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean it's perfect. I don't need to get the new one, so rather invest that money in parts for my PC to kind of
Yeah.
upgrade it so that I could render better
Mm-hmm.
or stuff like that.
You're looking ahead, yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Oh,
it's
you know what I was
better.
gonna
So,
say? You should try it just for fun.
hmm?
try one of the particle brushes, like a leak or something that's gonna drip, like from her eyes or
Oh yeah,
something.
that could be
Just
like
for fun. Let's see how it would look. But that looks cool. That texture is cool, dude.
it's not it's actually far from finished. So this is just like a base coating. I'm gonna go into variations and stuff just now.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's
Just
use
for fun. You don't have to
particles
keep it. I just
like
want to see how it would look, like if you had to create a leak or something.
I think especially from the eyes, kind
Yeah,
of
like
like
it would look so gothic.
yeah,
Like she's crying paint.
but it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Wait.
You think it's no, it can't be because of the brush. It literally looks like she's crying, dude.
Yeah,
When those
it's the flow
particles
is
fall.
so little, it's like so low that it's like she's gonna cry. She's crying. Aw,
Yeah.
why is it not working? Like, come on, man.
Oh,
Okay, wait, let me use licks. Come on.
that's strange why it's not
Why
applying it.
aren't you working? Come on. It's like when you want it to work, but it doesn't. It's probably working. No, actually, it's not.
No.
This is one thing Substance does this every now and then. It's like, it's working
There it is, it is.
perfectly.
Check. Look up. Look where the paint's applied on top. By the blue. It looks like it was leaking from the top there.
Oh,
Do you see
yeah,
that?
I see
Try
now.
and paint from the blue. Yeah, there, it is working.
It's inverted.
Yeah.
See, this is stupid mistakes. Like when you're struggling your ass off,
Dude,
and it's like,
this feature, no, like this is
oh,
crazy,
this looks
man.
cool. Dude, check this out. This looks awesome. Like, let's go
It's
full
cool how you
screen.
can
Like,
just paint like that with particles, yeah.
this is kind of like
Wow.
Iron Maiden
Yeah, like a rock
kind
band.
of
It's like rock band,
heavy metal, like
heavy
like
metal.
Metallica,
Yeah.
Iron Maiden, like Iron Maiden meets
And I
Cinema.
mean, like, yeah, it's giving you the effect of this thing leaking and dripping. And
Yeah.
that is what I think is super, super cool.
So we're just going crazy
Yeah,
with
just
this.
having fun now, just to see what you can come up
This
with.
is Iron Maiden Senua. She is the Iron Maiden.
The Iron Senua.
Celtics. The Celtic heavy metal rock star. Yeah, this looks cool. I like this. Okay, so now we're gonna do exactly. We're just gonna duplicate it and change the color. We're just gonna darken it a little bit. Think about like so, and then change the height a little bit more. And then I think just with the dirt brush again,
Oh, and paint on top of that.
we're gonna erase some of it, kind of just
Oh, okay.
asymmetrically, kind of
Yeah, just break it up.
break it up a little bit, just here and there. I think it's
So this layering is like really important, eh, with
it
texturing.
is definitely in everything. So this kind of gives it, because of the height difference, it kind of gives it that like cracked
Yeah.
sort of pieces paint kind of effect.
Did you
I
adjust
think
the height on this one?
I did. I made
Okay, I see
the
that.
darker layer. I made it a bit higher
I see.
than the one before. So we're just kind of tweaking. I think it's a bit dark. I'll probably lighten it up. It looks kind of cool though. But
Yeah.
let me just make it a little bit lighter.
Iron
This shot
Senua.
way too high. Iron Cinema in theaters now. Okay, this looks cool. It's like almost the same, but just a little bit darker. And now I think I'm gonna go in very, very subtly with this Dirt 3 brush. This one's really cool for like breaking up.
Okay.
But I gotta take the flow
And
down.
all
Okay,
of that, those details we see over there, that's from the height map, right? Those imperfections
yeah, all
that
of
we
that.
see in
That imperfection is all from the height map.
there.
But let me
Okay.
try this new technique of the paint layer, so I can actually tweak it. This is gonna work better. So,
Oh, I
I'm
see.
just gonna go over it like so. I'm gonna go quite heavily because I'm gonna tone it down because I got a paint layer now.
Yeah.
Uh, this is kind of cool. I figured, like I told you before, I figured this out today where you could use an extra paint layer to
Mm-hmm.
kind of make it a bit more non-destructive when you want to erase certain spots.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of like so, and then we'll just go and, or let's use dirt brush again.
And keep layering. I see.
Stack the layers.
Yep.
There was a YouTuber. He does music and he does tutorials, and he always says he's kind of like this Asian guy, and he's very funny. He always says, "Remember to stack the layers."
What's his name?
Aces to aces.
Okay, no, I don't know who's that. Aces to aces.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've got this kind of
Yeah, I can see. I see the difference it makes.
some spots, kind of a little bit of a breakup,
Yeah.
kind of showing skill a little bit.
Yeah.
But now it's a very important part. Is you go to filter, and then this wavy, this warp filter. You add a warp filter to it.
Warp filter.
You actually take the top one off, and this, you can kind of
Oh, I see.
you see it gives that like paint
That
effect.
kind of looks like the war paint from Senua's Sacrifice, see?
So I think this one kind of looks cool. Let's do the
That looks
next
better
one.
than those long streaky ones. I think the long streaky ones we were playing around. That warp actually, it's kind of adding like
The
randomness
real
to the
paint,
strokes.
yeah, the real kind of
Yeah.
like paint feeling to it,
Yeah,
and then we can
adds
just
randomness.
kind of like so,
Yeah.
and you kind of have that like
Yeah, and I
breakup.
can see that height over there now as well. A lot better
Yeah,
when you zoomed in there. You can see, yeah. Now
yeah.
it really looks, yeah, that really looks like this dried paint on a face.
Basically, and you can go and what I like doing is painting on another layer, but just roughness.
Okay.
So, or I like to have separate layers with no color, but it's only with like certain stuff, like just height or just roughness. So, what roughness though is you can work with you can work with a destructive way, and you get better like more variations. So you just use one layer in different roughnesses,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's destructive. You can't tweak it afterwards. But then you can use one, or you can use a couple non-destructive layers with a certain sort of roughness thing. But I think what I'm going to do now is, for the fun of it, I'm going to use a normal layer and show you how I normally tend to do roughness.
Yeah.
Sort of like just a beauty layer
Mm-hmm.
of roughness. Kind of like they call it like a beauty shot.
Yeah.
A beauty pass where you would do like the main render.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that, but just with roughness. And I can change it on the fly now because it's a permanent layer. It's not a non-destructive. So normally go to I think this is the
Holy cow, that looks so creepy. Damn.
Oh.
Whoa, that one's even. Whoa.
Which one was roughness again?
Isn't
can't
that
remember.
gray? No,
Okay,
no,
this
that would
is
be
metal.
curvature.
This is roughness.
Yeah,
This is
there,
roughness.
top left, yeah, roughness.
Yes, roughness. Okay, so now I'm gonna use a dirt brush again, and then just play with the flow. Okay, and then just over here. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit rougher here on the head, just kind of splashing in some spots
Mm-hmm.
of roughness. I'm gonna change it down a little bit lower and do maybe here by the eyes. Actually, I can go in here. Go a little bit here, make it very rough.
So it's all of these small details that you take into account, eh? It really adds that level
Just
of polish to your
Yeah,
layers.
definitely. So I'm sort of just going randomly through the thing and just
Yeah.
putting a bit of wetness, more
Mm-hmm.
roughness, very wet, just kind
So
of giving it a
you
bit
can
of.
you can choose where you want it to be more wet and where you want it to be more rough using
Yeah,
this
this is
method.
the one thing when you use this method, but it is destructive. I can't change it now, but it's really fast because I can
Yeah,
just quickly change the roughness slider and just
just
go.
like
But it's
that.
permanent. As soon as I touch a stroke, it's there,
It's there
unless I
forever.
press undo. But this is a great way for doing your final roughness. If you just want to have a randomized or just even just a top roughness layer. I mean, you can always tone it down here if you go to roughness, and
Mm-hmm.
you play with the opacity.
Yeah.
So probably will do a little bit, but I mean, just this, you can barely see it, but I mean, it's
Yeah, it's
there.
there. It's there. You can see.
And then
I noticed
we could
that.
probably go to this layer. Yeah, this to this layer, and or actually no, let's make a height layer. Let's actually make a height layer. No, keep the height. And keep that on 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna go with the scratches brush.
See, they've got quite a few, 5 of them. Yeah.
I kind of like scratches too. Oh, I should probably make a black mask. Yeah, and we're just gonna kind of level it out, kind of give that it's very very subtle,
Yeah.
but I mean you can barely see it, but it kind of breaks up the. If I'm Yeah, I'm on the right layer.
Yeah, I can see
Let
it. I
me.
saw that when you applied it.
This is just for reference purposes.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing this sometimes when I can't see it.
Yeah.
Then I will switch to a color, just so I can see where I'm actually
Applying those strokes. Yeah.
uh,
Makes sense.
applying strokes. And then I'll just go and turn it off afterwards. So it's just kind of to break up the height, because it's just everything is like above the skin, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to break it down and bring it back to the normal skin height.
Mm-hmm.
Like once again, very, very, very subtle. Probably
But
not even
they make it.
necessary. But
They
just,
make a difference. I think it's like always these
it
small
does.
details, dude.
You
It's
might
always the
not
small.
see it in here in substance, but I
Yeah.
guarantee once we go to Marmoset, you'll notice it,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the lighting there, because the lighting is more dynamic
Mm-hmm.
inside of Marmoset, so you can see it better, and you can actually tweak it instead of just using it your eyes.
Yeah.
So it really helps. So it actually, well, you can kind of
And
see it.
I
It kinda
noticed that
brings
Substance
it
also
over.
has a smudge tool, right? There at the top.
Yeah, it does. I've never actually used
I
it.
also never. So could you like literally smudge parts of the paint? Like if it was on a mask, if you
Yeah.
select a mask, can you smudge like parts of the paint? Or you'd have to
Oh, well,
be,
I'm actually on the wrong layer,
yeah.
but
Okay, so you
oh,
can.
kind of smudging it. Let's actually smudge
So
it
you
though.
could smudge it like to add some more asymmetrical aspects to the paint.
Kind
Okay, I
of
see.
weird, but I mean, yeah, you definitely.
Guess it could be used for something. Okay, but that's the first time I'm seeing this smudge being used.
Like it's kind of very dependent on the direction that you're
Yeah.
taking it, kind of smudging it.
Okay.
But not actually like that one. Let's undo that. Whoa, what are you doing? Stop. When you undo way too much. But actually, I actually like that smudging, but very subtle though.
Yeah, subtle. It's cool. Like
On
it
the
adds asymmetry to the paint.
Definitely. Kind of helps it, so it's not as because paint is actually can be smudged very easily,
Yeah.
and it happens especially when it gets kind of wet
Yeah.
and dried.
Because like
And
literally
and
sometimes Like when you see in movies when people put war paint on, they'll put the paint on their two fingers and like literally smudge it across their eyes or something like that. So
Exactly.
you could kind of simulate the effect of an actual smudge of paint being applied to a face. So that's cool. I guess that tool could come in handy as well, wherever
Yeah.
you see,
But let's.
wherever it can fit in.
I don't know. Where did I actually export this girl?
Oh, but awesome, dude. Damn, we've covered
Oh, it
quite a
does
bit
a
here.
piston chick. Material 0.
Okay, so you can export multiple texture sets. This is also
Yeah,
something I'm seeing for the
you
first
can do
time.
all of them, or you can just select the ones that you're working on. So, like for instance, now I only want to export the face.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I changed the name. I think it's still, yeah, it should still be this one. Ah, let me close Facebook.
How about awesome, dude? I think I'm gonna label this. Well, we'll talk about that at the end of the video because I've done
Mm.
like hangouts and collaborative videos with other people. I think these are some techniques that you should definitely share for anyone that's interested in doing skin. Because
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if there's that many tutorials on YouTube for substance
They
painter skin.
aren't.
Yeah, so
There
there you
aren't
go,
any.
dude. Your
It's
techniques, share them.
struggle is real.
Yeah. Share them
Yeah.
if that makes you happy, if it's something you want to do, I'd say go ahead, man. It's always nice to
Mm.
help. You're
Yeah.
helping me,
But
you
it
can
would
help a lot
be,
of other people as well that are keen
yeah,
on
you know
checking it out.
what would be cool, if we do kind of like a collab on it, like we put
Yeah,
it on your channel,
yeah,
because like I don't have a channel, so they won't see it anyway. And
okay,
I mean, you're already using Substance, so
yeah.
you could sort of do a walkthrough, and then I'll explain how to do skin properly, and then
But this
I
was
think
good, dude. This video was really good. Like you explained all the layers and everything, and you
uh,
even demonstrated war paint. Oh, there
oh,
we
that actually
go.
looks pretty sick.
There we go.
Especially the smudging here, like on the
Yeah,
cheek.
see there, it's like the paint's being smudged. It's asymmetrical. It's got
Mm.
irregularity to it. It doesn't like look very symmetric.
Especially like look at the back here, just like how it
Yeah,
like
I
it's
can see
cracked.
that cracked effect.
That looks really cool.
There we go.
Let's try just lowering the brightness. Oh, this looks cool.
Now she's Hellblade, like for real.
Senua. Dun dun
In
dun.
Marmoset, in the
Senua beats
flesh.
Marmoset. Yeah.